So this is a preview of the track we are going to go through today. It's my latest track called Extrasolar. I thought we could go through each and every track and just take a look at my mixing decisions and why I have done certain things. I don't claim to be an expert, so if I do something wrong here, you are welcome to sign off in the comments. And maybe we can learn something together. While you're at it, you are welcome to subscribe to this channel and press that bell button. It would be fun to try to get over 200 subscribers. The channel is well on its way. So yeah, please do that. Okay, so let's just jump right into it. So as you can see here, this is the entire track with some groups. So when I build up my tracks, I start on the top with drums and percussion, I go to bass, then I go usually to melodies or like leads, then effects and some other stuff like piano in this case. So if we start at the beginning here, it's just a basic kick sample I had in a sample pack called Dave Smith Trance Essentials, I think. Done some EQ on the kick. Taken off the high end and around 1.5 kilohertz. You can turn off the EQ so you can listen to it without. There's kind of an airy sound there I didn't like, so that's why I EQ'd. I've taken off also some of the low end from 26 here. Then we go to some other drum tracks here, like Ride is nothing special, it's just a sample, and take off the low end there on the EQ. Then we go to toms. Here I have different tom samples on the same track. You can see the compressor working a bit here. It's because I wanted the toms to have the same amplitude, the same volume. There are different tom samples and they are recorded on different volumes. So I used the compressor to compress the sound, or compress all of these toms to kind of the same volume. So yeah, so it fits, or it's more easier to mix. Then I have some more effect or drums like clap, shakers. There's usually just some take off the low end and maybe some EQing on them. Nothing really fancy, except it's a drum loop thing here, where I have used some of the effects included in, or the stock effects included in Ableton Live here. It's just a basic drum loop sample. It sounds like this in its raw state. And then I use some plugins here to kind of give it some more saturation and some more bite, like that drum pumper there. Take off the low end with an EQ then, and have some delay. And the compressor on the end there is a sidechain compressor. So that's drums. We can go to the bass group and solo the bass group and the kick maybe. It sounds like this. Yeah. So in the bass group there are a few things going on. We can I can try to turn off the automation lane here, but when I do that, the camera will do some things, and we have to change it back again. Yeah. So here we have the drum, or the bass group. It consists of 3 or 4 different tracks. First one is a kind of, or is the sub bass. Just some basic stuff sounding like this. And it's a preset from Silent and compressed and sidechained. Then on the next track I have some 303 acid type of sounds. That's from sounds like this. So that's from Diva, using patches from this guy, Sami Rabia. Is a shout out to him. Makes extremely nice patches for a lot of different soft synths, also hardware synths, and they are trance related as well, but you can use it for all types of electronic music. So I highly recommend this guy. I don't get paid or anything to tell you this, but yeah, I like his stuff quite a lot. I didn't think it was dirty enough, so I added some little noise from the Decapitator plugin. Not that much, but it's little. And then took off the absolute lowest end here and pressing again. Then I have some, this is not really bass, but it's playing along with bass, so that's why I placed it in the bass group here. It gives it some more presence, I think. In the high end, that's why it's called a high. So that's also a patch from this guy. I think I did some adjustments here to it in the ADSR and the oscillators, but I'm not sure what I did, unfortunately. And then I felt, if we listen to this bass line without this one, I felt it lacked some more dirt. So I added this, what I call drone ARP bass. As you can hear here. It sounds dirty, and that's why, and I can show you how I did it. I just made a patch in Serum, using some basic wavetables, some unison, not really any special settings, but the most interesting thing is in the FX section here. I just added some distortion. Okay, my camera stopped working, so let's do some magic and try to get it working again. Yeah, so we are back. The camera is working again. The battery died. I have to buy a power supply for it. Well, maybe next time. So here's the distortion that makes it sound more dirty. So it's not really that difficult. It's just a matter of using the tools you have available, and you get that nice bass sound. So and then everything goes into a bass group, and here I have something interesting. It's three EQ3s. I haven't touched the settings here, I have just dragged them in. And again, this is a tip from this guy. If you do that, the bass sound will get more rubbery. That's the definition. I don't know any other way to say it. Then I have used a utility to filter all the frequencies below 500 Hz and make them mono. So it's bass after all, and it should sit in the middle of the mix. Then I used a limiter here to kind of make the amplitude of all of the bass tracks combined together at more uniform. So when you play different notes in the bass, the amplitude or the volume doesn't change. It's the same. So by using a limiter, you can achieve that. So that's the bass. Then we have the lead group with a lot of synths grouped together. We can begin with the body lead. That's it's massive, new and shiny, or maybe not so shiny according to people on their internets. It's got some criticism, but I don't claim to know that much about the technicalities. So in this case, I found a patch that I thought sounded good. I did some adjustments to it, especially the cutoff. I don't have the cutoff that high. I added some EQ and some reverb and the usual compressor stuff, sidechain. I called it body lead because I wanted to have, well, some body, and I haven't done that much high pass on it, only 80. Then I have another synth playing here. So that's a serum patch I made. I don't remember, again, it's a while since I made it. But I also have some distortion on this one. I also use Echo Boy for some actually space, I think, kind of reverby. And then I use Black Hole here at the end, and then the usual pressing stuff. Lead, yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the EQing on this one. It's I've taken off some of the low end here, but not that much. And then I've taken off some of the high end, or also not that much, but it's to try to get the mix to sound as clean as possible, because I have a lot of different synths here. So I can show you that on the later tracks here now. You see on lead one, I have increased some of the high end actually. You also hear that. So lead one is played by Diva, the same guy down here made the patch. some saturation using Sound Toys stuff again. And here I take off a lot of the low end, because this one and this one kind of already delivers that low end, so I don't have to use it on this one. But I thought the high end sounded pretty nice here, so I increased the high end a little bit, and I reduced the high end on here, and not so much here. So when we play those three together, it sounds like this. So that's nice, I guess. But then I thought it lacked something in the top end here, and that's why I made this bright saw lead. I wanted that rich saw lead sound, and that's delivered by Diva once again. And some echo buoying, and actually some sausage fattener. And then I apparently filter everything below 500 hertz to mono, but I see I have cut off. Yeah, everything below 500 hertz is mono, and then compressing that with a loop compressor, and then EQing that, then sidechain again. Why am I having the EQ there? I can have it there. So again, I don't claim to be an expert, so I may do things wrong, I don't know, but I find it works for me. So yeah, high end, and here also a high end helper. Then I also wanted the Moog into everything here, and the Moog is an external synth, and has a lot of body and a lot of low end, a lot of harmonic. It sounds great. You can turn off every effect here. You can hear the raw original sound. So it's almost a shame I have to filter out some of this, but it would be too overwhelming. So with all of the effects I have going, the Moog sounds a little more thin. But it sounds nice in its way. So played together, it sounds like that, and well, that's what I did now today. Maybe tomorrow I will do it in another way, better. We always learn something new. Strings, it's just a contact instrument. Sounded like this. Reverb, EQ, and compressing. Here are effects. There, it's just sweeps, and yeah, it sounds like that. Then I have some piano. It's also a contact instrument, actually two. Low end, and done some used some effects using Echo Boy and Black Hole from Eventide. And on the master bus I have used a new plugin. So at the end here on the master fader I use mix centric here from Waves, just to give the track some more clarity and some more widening or sweetening, and it also adds a little more saturation to the mix. It makes the track sound more, I don't know, radio or pro-ish friendly. It's easy to go overboard with this knob, but I can show you what it does. And in addition to that, I use the utility from Ableton Live here to increase some of the stereo. Just set it to 131. Yeah, so the mix without sounds like this. And then we turn on this. I can turn them off and on while I play here, so you can listen in real time. It really clears up the mix and gives it more presence. I don't know any other way of explaining it. Under the hood, it's EQing, it's compressing, it's saturation. There's a lot of things going on under the hood here in this plugin. With that said, though, I always try to make my I don't throw this on the mix right away. I try to make the mix sound as good as possible before I begin throwing plugins like this on the master fader. If the mix doesn't sound good without a lot of plugins on the master fader, it's extremely difficult to just slap a plugin on and make it sound good. That's at least what I have found. And at the end, I always use the FabFilter Pro L2 to limit the sound and make it ready for uploading to my website or Spotify or Bandcamp or anything. So in the settings, I use True Peak limiting, and when I export, I turn on oversampling, and I have no dithering. And on output, I set it to -1. The reason I set it to -1 is because even True Peak limiting activated, when you upload the WAV file to, let's say, SoundCloud or some other place where you publish your music, it converts it to a streamable format. And when it does that, it introduces noise, and this noise could clip, get noise in the MP3 file or in the stream on that site you upload to. So I set it to -1 just to be on the safe side. Maybe it's too much, I'm not sure, but I find it to be a safe number anyways. So there's the track. You can download it on my website. The link is below, but it's BjoKib.com. You can use the music I make here in your own YouTube videos if you want. You just have to credit me on or to my website. In addition, you can support me on Patreon if you want. There's a link below. And also, of course, subscribe to this YouTube channel if you want more videos like this, and press like and, all that stuff. So, I hope you learned something today. Talk to you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.